It is December 14th, 2016. I'm just going to tell you my story, tell you why I do what I do. So we'll start at the beginning. I've been active forever, really loved basketball as a kid. Wanted to be on the Chicago Bulls, even though obviously that wasn't a possibility for me, but growing up in the Chicagoland area, Michael Jordan was my hero, so sports all the way. I played some basketball and soccer in school, nothing major, because in 6th grade I discovered a skateboard. My mom had skateboarding experience, my dad had BMX experience, and so they were both really excited about me doing an action sport and all that. So started out on a mongoose board that my nana got me for a report card reward, and then I'll never forget my mom taking me for Valentine's Day late in my 6th grade year to the skate shop, Bad Boys Toys. It was like so far, it seemed, and very expensive. But I went out and picked out a blind board with some tensor trucks. I mean, I was ecstatic, and at the time my mattress was on the floor, so went home. I put my skateboard across from my bed. I went to sleep, couldn't sleep, just was staring at it all night, could not wait to get out again like the next day, because my mom had given me a late curfew that night so I could skate a little more. Next day I skated to school like always. Me and my friends, we would skate to junior high. It was about almost a mile from home. Skate down these big hills, and then there was a Burger King and a Blockbuster right next to each other. No matter the temperature, snow on the ground or not, we would be weaving around it. We would eat breakfast at Burger King, and then we'd go skate Blockbuster. And then after school, we'd hike home, and it was uphill, so it wasn't that much skating, but we hit a few spots. There's a 3-stair we liked, a 5-stair we liked, a few other grinding ledges and stuff like that we liked on the way home, so we'd hit those up. Get home, throw our backpacks in, skate until it got dark. That's all we did. Skate, 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 forever. Then I discovered dance, and I discovered I was real good at it. Footwork, hip-hop, breakdancing, I was really into it. So I kind of went back and forth between the two while juggling a clowning business and doing unicycling. I had a couple GTs, so I rode a little bit of BMX. Rode a scooter at one point. Rode some K2s and then some rollerblade New Jacks. I kind of got all over the place. My clowning business was awesome. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So 12 years old, started that. Worked some parties, rode a unicycle, rode a little clown bike, did some tricks. Kept up with it. In 8th grade, my mom had an incident at her job, and she ended up being wrongfully convicted. And in 2005, she went to prison for something that she didn't do. It took almost 10 years to get her out, but to say the least, my entire life changed. My mom was it for me. She was mine and my brother's rock. It was the three of us all the time. I would say I was sponsored by my mom because she would just buy me decks every 3 months. Consistently had skateboarding equipment. It was awesome. Skate parks, whatever. And then she was gone, and I had to be taken away from my brother. We got separated. We got taken out of our home. Moved in with my dad. I didn't really get along with him at the time because I hadn't been going there for a few years. My parents had joint custody, so we weren't really close to begin with. I had to go there on the weekends until I was about 12 or 13, and then I really stopped going. So by the time I lived with him, it just, I felt out of the loop, not really welcome, So I got out of there a year later after fighting a whole ton of depression and doing a lot of dance. I mean, I danced every day. I recorded all my dancing. I joined a dance group called Thriller. It was amazing, changed my whole life. I was a zombie queen. It was cool. Zombie prom queen, whatever. It was a fun thing. I started having a lot of back pain late in high school. After 3 high schools, I graduated early I was living with my grandparents at the time. I still would skate on and off. And then I started getting a lot more into it when I had a job again and I was supporting myself. So I'd go to Zoomies and grab blank decks and stuff like that. I just kept it basic then. At this point, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. So I decided to run a DJ business. So through my DJ business, I got to do a lot of dancing. That was kind of what I was known for, the dancing DJ. I would, teach the dances and just get out there with the crowd, and I loved it. And this whole time I was just waiting for my mom to get home. I was missing my brother. It was hard. And then I was like, man, I'm just going to keep going with this. I really like this dance style. It's called jerkin. It's real cool. And I was about 20 years old. I'm like, I'm going to start a clothing line. So I started a clothing line and just took off. Jerkin Swag. I think the site's still up there. jerkinswag.yolasite.com. I would work 20-hour days. I would be printing shirts, screen printing shirts, making the screens, printing the shirts, ironing the shirts, heat setting them, all that stuff. Responding to emails, I get, over 100 emails a day. I couldn't even keep up with it. I had to hire some of my friends to check the emails from their houses. I was sponsoring people. It was getting kind of crazy. It went like this for about 3 months, and then I just dropped it. I just wasn't feeling it anymore. It was too much work. I was overwhelmed. I went along with my entrepreneurship, though, and I started nannying and doing a cleaning business, kind of both at the same time. I met my wife. We moved in together when we were dating. Aiden was a baby. He was 1 year old when we met. She asked if I would help co-parent, so that's where that began. And we were living life. We were a happy little family, living in a 1-bedroom apartment, and it was good. We were trying to figure it out, But I had a hernia, and it started getting worse and worse. So September rolled around. My wife got a phenomenal job. Things were looking up, and then I was home with Aiden and doing some side work, auto detailing and stuff like that. And then I went to get an emergency hernia repair, and that changed everything. I went in at night. All the doctors were trying to push the hernia back in. Was not working out. I was screaming top of my lungs. They said, we got to send you into emergency surgery or you might not come out of it. So we said, okay. Well, I didn't have insurance at the time, so they said they were going to cover it. The hospital okayed it. They covered it 100%. Surgeon came in. He was woken up to come in. This was at Rush University, Chicago. Surgeon came in. He did the emergency hernia repair. I went home later that day. I got surgery on 4 in the morning or so. I went home later that day. Then my wife was doing a real good job to keep me comfortable at home, relaxing and resting and all that. Only to find out that the same day I had the emergency hernia repair, she lost her amazing job. She wasn't the perfect fit. They were looking for someone else to do what she was doing. So they gave her a few weeks pay and they let her go. So she was looking for a new job. I was laid up for weeks. And right away I started, I'll show you with this leg. I started, anytime I bend it like this at the waist, I'd be like, it's going numb. I feel some sort of numbing there, So I was worried about it. Like, I don't know why it feels numb and tingling when I do that, it's weird. So went to my follow-up, told him, he said it'll go away. Continuously that happened. I'd go in, tell him this is still hurting down here. It was on the left side though, of course. He said it'll go away, it'll be fine, it'll go away. Now they placed this mesh across my entire abdomen. Don't ever do that. My body was rejecting it. One of the tacks, instead of dissolving, was pushing through my skin, and it looked like a tack. pushing through your skin. Pretty much like a size of a pea, it looked like. So they had to do another surgery, get that out. I got passed around to all these surgeons who did not understand what was going on with my body. My body was rejecting this mesh. I couldn't use the bathroom very well. I was in a lot of pain. I could barely walk sometimes. No one could figure it out. So after going to 4 or 5 different surgeons, seeing if they should remove the mesh or what we should do next, I ended up back at my original doctor who had already stated he would take it out if need be. So we scheduled to take it out. My son Aiden started chanting, "No mesh, just flesh, no mesh, just flesh." Got it out. The damage was done. There was already nerve damage. That was an initial possibility. I signed off on it. I did not sign off on becoming partially disabled. I signed off on potential nerve damage. I guess I didn't really understand that that was a possibility. At this time, my family really doubted me. You're lazy. You're okay. The pain will go away. And all I really wanted was my mom. I just wanted my mom to come home and help me get a lawyer, or, I'm seeing all these things on TV at the time. Do you have mesh and blah, blah, blah? You could be, you could get a lawsuit, all this stuff, all this stuff about the mesh being wrong for you. So I fought with my family, I fought with my in-laws, I fought with my grandparents, to defend myself that I wasn't lazy. I didn't want to be in a wheelchair. I wanted to walk. I didn't want to use a cane. I wanted to skate. I wanted to dance, and all of those things were just slowly disappearing from my life. And I just kind of watched them go away. So it just seemed like it took eternity, and they were just disappearing right in front of my eyes. I discovered once again that I was a very talented artist. I started drawing a lot of portraits, a lot of cars, stuff like that. Selling a lot of artwork. And that kind of, it held me over for a little while, but it got boring pretty quick. I needed to be active again. I needed to do something. I was pushing myself to skate. I got some cruiser boards to do minimal stuff, at least just to ride around, just for the feel of it. And slowly I could do less tricks, and, that all, it was just, they were there, all the boards were there, stacked up, but I couldn't ride them, so I started getting really depressed again, to the point where, after taking care of Aiden every single day and being with him every single day, for over 2 years, he had to go to daycare for a few months, and that wasn't really part of our plan. We always kind of planned to keep him with us as long as we could, and then we decided to unschool. So he went to daycare. I was just home by myself, depressed and in pain, and wasn't really helping. I missed him. So we brought him home, stopped sending him there, and then we had to move. We had a big thing where we had to move out of our apartment, find somewhere else to live. We thought we were going to move to Michigan, and then my in-laws helped us get a place in a really nice town, right next to the town we were currently living in. So we moved into this apartment in a really nice neighborhood. My wife was in nursing school. I was just kind of getting depressed again, and I found WCMX. I saw the Aaron Wheels videos. I was like, oh my gosh, look at this guy's doing this in the wheelchair, it's amazing, he's skating in the wheelchair. WCMX, I gotta try to get one of these chairs. And with all the pain and everything, came my leg just declining. This actual function of it was declining. I didn't have as much mobility anymore. Slowly couldn't move my toes, slowly couldn't bend at the ankle. It just was was going, you know. I was losing the leg whether I wanted it that way or not. So skating on my feet was no longer an option. I had to get the skate chair. I started looking into that. And then I started showing my wife everything on the website and telling her we gotta get one of these chairs. Gotta save for one of these chairs. Aiden was in sports. Everything was going pretty good. We got married. We had a falling out with my in-laws at the time. But my mom got out just in time for our wedding, like right in the nick of time. They said she was innocent, she didn't do anything, they wrongfully convicted her. After almost 10 years, she was a free woman. She got out, we got married. Another thing happened where we had to leave. We had to move away from that place where we were living near in the Chicagoland area. So, right at the time, my father and his family had moved 3 hours away across the state where we grew up vacationing. So, we went over there. We said, let's come for a visit. Went out for a visit, applied for some jobs. We got jobs right away. I got 2 jobs. I was working 60 or more hours a week. My wife was working full time. We were saving all the money, staying at my parents'. Tight quarters, a lot of drama, but it was worth it to stay there and save the money. 2 months goes by. At this time of staying there and living there, I'm in a falling out with my mom, so I'm already missing her again, just like I was for 10 years right before that. I have a falling out with my dad. I move out of his house. Things are not good with either of my parents. We found this house that we're in now. We start renting it. So we move here. There's a skate park a half mile away. There's a skate park in the next town. We're continuously skating as a family. I mean, pretty much Aiden's been skating since he was 1. My wife started skating right about when we got married. So we're skating as a family. It was a lot of fun, but I was having a lot more pain. The 60-hour weeks were killing me. I couldn't do it anymore. I was getting a lot of foot cramps. I couldn't sleep. It was nuts. So we moved out, moved to this house. My wife said, quit your 1 job. I did that. Only had the 1 job, and then slowly that one was gone too because I just couldn't handle it. I was in too much pain. I was realizing I couldn't dance anymore, couldn't skate anymore, none of that. So I did some woodworking, some other stuff like that, whittling, wood burning. And then August 2015, I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go take my hospital chair. I had 2 of them, so I was going to take the one that I had, mixed and matched parts, the best one. I was going to take it to the skate park. Drop in on a 3-foot quarter pipe, drop in on a 4-foot quarter pipe. I was like, this is crazy. I had speed wobble, I had those 6 or 8 inch wheels on the front. It was nuts. I was in love though, so started going to the skate park over here, just riding the box, riding around, getting more comfortable doing laybacks and stuff like that, and just kept on wanting that skate chair though, I had to get it. Some time went by and I started to GoFundMe, and I just got really antsy, and I had found this decent chair that would work for kind of what I wanted online. So got that off eBay. Thanks to everyone that helped on that. I raised about $600 from my GoFundMe, and I found a nice chair for that price. Quickie. The one I rode forever. I mean, and I progressed in that chair like crazy. It was amazing some of the things I was doing in that chair. And then, I kept connecting with all the athletes in the sport, the wheelchair distributors of the sport. I started kind of connecting with a little bit here, a little bit there, people all over the country. Some of the women were recognizing me, some from Israel, some from California. They were making me go harder. Everyone was like just giving me that drive, like, wow, you are talented in the sport, so just keep it up, And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe after skating and dancing and art and missing being on my feet and being active, like I finally found something, WCMX, this was it. I was in love, in love again, just like I was when I was in 6th grade and couldn't sleep and was laying across from my skateboard, gawking at it all night. So I found Sean Co. Custom Wheelchairs, and I started talking to them all the time, stalking them pretty much. I would message them about this, message them about that, talk to them about this chair, that chair, everything that they had going on. I was always talking to Sean and Donna, started talking to Blake, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a Sean Co chair. I did a lot of research. That was the chair I wanted to get. Started another GoFundMe. I still hope to finish that one someday, raise money to get a chair made for someone else, because someone else deserves a chair. Everyone deserves a chair. I mean, these chairs are amazing, life-changing pieces of equipment that you can ride on all day long. So, started pursuing them. They had this chair that was already built. I said, hey, I'm pretty interested in that one. You gotta work something out. They said, if it fits you, it's yours. So, measured it up. I'll never forget, we were in Wisconsin Dells for the weekend as a family, and here comes the message. Sure enough, it'll fit you, So they sent it over. It was coming from California, and I'll never forget that. I tracked it, and I'm a crier, obviously. I tracked that chair so hard, I was so excited, I could barely sleep, waiting for it to come. It was Saturday morning when it was going to arrive, and we don't have a doorbell, and the bedrooms are way in the back of the house, so it's pretty hard to hear if someone's knocking. And it said it left its departure location, which was about an hour away at 6 in the morning, so my wife was like, it's going to be here soon, so I set up one of my cameras and pointed it outside the door so I could keep track and see when the FedEx guy would get here. So sure enough, he came, and I went out there and I got it, I opened it up, and a game changer. It changed my entire life. Changed rolling around my house, changed going to the grocery store, changed everything. I thought the quickie changed my life. This chair changed my life, It changed my life like my wife changed my life, and that's extreme, But that's what it's all about, the love, Me and my mom worked things out. It was good because I needed her. She's my best friend, so I couldn't do it without her, Couldn't do it without Ann, I couldn't do it without Aiden. Those three are my biggest support besides my teammates, I have a really supportive family. My sister is amazing. My brother, my other sister, and my nana. My grandfather passed away a few months ago, which has been really hard on me because he raised me. He's like my father, so I miss him, but I know he's there cheering me on. So I'm just glad to have the support I have from my family here at my home, and my family in the Chicagoland area, and my family in heaven, and my family all over the world now, because I've met a lot of people, a lot of great athletes, a lot of people with a great potential to do this, to WCMX, or to do something else that they really love. So it's good. SCW, they're about the love, the family and the love. That's all, it's pretty simple, honestly. If you care, you'll do what you can for people, and that's what they did for me, and now I'm progressing like crazy. It's day, let's see, it would be day 75. It's day 75 of my SCW lifestyle, and I wouldn't change a minute of it. I didn't even know I would progress at the speed I am. I knew I would do better in a real skate chair, a real WCMX chair, but I didn't know it would be like this. Every day I feel like I need to challenge myself and just try the next thing. Like, why not? Why not try the next thing? Just go for it, you know? So that's what I'm telling you. Just practice, fear none. Don't fear a thing. You know, if you believe, you'll receive. So if you believe you're going to do that trick, you're going to do that trick. It's all about manifesting. Manifest your life. You know, visualize everything you want and just make it happen. Because that's the only way you're going to change anything. And that's the only way we are going to change anything as a generation, is to keep it up and keep going. Even if life gets hard, just keep going. You know, find your passion. Try everything you need to try. Do it all. You'll find something you love that just takes your heart away, and you can't, you know, you can't even sleep or eat without thinking about it a little bit. So that's what I'm going to tell you. Sorry, I got a hair on me. Challenge yourself. No fear, and you can do it. Because I believe in you, and they believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself. So that's my story. Check me out, Tia Pearl WCMX, with SCW Lifestyle. And hopefully you keep watching. We're going to be posting a lot of stuff on the channel, so check us out. Check out our chairs. If you like this bow tie, check out rawhidemfg.com. But most of all, if you need a wheelchair, Google Sean Co. Custom Wheelchairs. Amazing people. They'll change your life forever. So that's my story. That's where I come from. That's what I do. And I hope to meet you someday. All right. Peace, love, and WCMX.